Each year on this, the 31st day of July, the world pauses for a moment to reflect on some of nature's most devout custodians, game rangers. They're usually the first line of defense against different forms of wildlife crime, including poaching. To get a sense of what it means to be a game ranger, Anita Nkonge spent a morning with a couple in the Mount Kenya area.
They're usually voiceless and vulnerable to attacks. So who steps in to save the day and protect them daily? Well, let's find out. Tucked away near Mount Kenya are a team of rangers who, in collaboration with the Kenya Wildlife Service and local communities, seek to protect the forests of Mount Kenya and the region's wild animals. We meet them as they're preparing for a routine tour of the grounds.
We ensure that we plan our duties in the evening so that tomorrow we can know where we are going to attend to. You have to feed well because most of the time you don't take lunch, because when you are patrolling, you might find that there are activities which requires big attention. We don't have roads in the forest, so you have to patrol using your feet or on horseback. Most of the time is that when we use the foot patrol, we go very much back interior into the forest.
Rangers here have found that many who get involved in illegal activities tend to go deep into the forest, away from listening ears. Some of the illegal activities include cutting down trees, poaching of animals, and even growing of marijuana.
At times, I remember there's a time we recorded towards the forest. We found a shaba of a bangi, whereby it was about 25 kilometers away. They also set up traps so that they can be able to get animals for killing for food.
Now, for purposes of this story, what you're currently watching is a simulation, but rangers say this is what actually happens on an average day at work.
In this area, we might say that there are poachers here, many, ranging from the ones who are hunting for tusks to bushmeat, because you find that right now bushmeat is very, very high. This is because you find that the population is rising up. So there's a lot of demand of bushmeat. Unlike for tusks, it is not very high. This is because we have been having cases where people have been arrested, they have been given a heavy penalty, so it discourages people from hunting for tusks.
Over the years, the rangers have had to adapt to poachers and their ever-changing tactics that not only risk the lives of the animals, but the rangers themselves.
Some of these traps, they dig pit traps, whereby they can dig up to 14 feet. And then at the bottom, they'll be putting sticks, which are sharp, so that once this animal gets into the pit, it will be pierced through, and then it dies due to bleeding. And then at the top, they will cover with dry leaves, branches, and all that. Because there's a time I remember when we were patrolling, one of our colleagues, he almost fell onto that pit. But luckily, we were near, and then we grabbed his head, so he couldn't get in. In the year 2013, we identified a landmine which had been set. It was basically meant for elephant, so that once it stepped on it, it will be blown up. Once it blows up, and then the task will remain. We have also found they were connecting power line, and then they make a trap, and then they will make a noose. So when elephant, then they will hang cabbages. So when the elephant is trying to reach the cabbages, it will be electrocuted. They set up also spears. They use spears, which is poisoned, and then they will be going up on the tree. Then this is a path for elephants. And then when the elephants are coming, they will drop the spear. And once it gets into the body of the elephant, the chemical reaction from the poison, it will mean that the elephant will come and die.
But Edwin says that even when caught, the process of handling poachers has several gaps that risk them escaping and returning back to the vice.
Once we arrest poachers, they have to produce a permit. But since there's no hunting licenses here in Kenya, It ensures that we have to take them to police stations where they can be convicted, or they can be taken to courts. When you take them to the courts, to the police, they don't understand all that cycle which has been taking place. You have to ensure that you are safe, you ensure that you take care of these voiceless animals. And then the thing is, it's not about punishing the poachers, but it is to let them understand what are they doing. Is there any other alternative of doing this? So at least we are trying to come up with methods.
Edwin, along with his rangers, have tried to come up with methods to help poachers, police and magistrates alike understand the ramifications of poaching and how to help curb the matter.
We have been having meetings, like we have court users committees, whereby we are being incorporated so that we can air our grievances. At times we have been offering job opportunities to these poachers. This is because we want them to transform, to believe, to change their mindset, so that they can be able to understand that without poaching, it doesn't mean that that is the end of life. There's life after these illegal activities. And once they come back to the communities, they have been very helpful and very ideal unto us. This is because they have been conveying the message that I used to destroy this, but now I want to mend it up and to build it up.
In 2020, the KWS reported 0 rhino poaching incidences and a record low of 11 elephants having been poached. This was the first time that such low numbers were recorded in the last 21 years. However, due to the COVID-19 pandemic, funding for organizations such as the Mount Kenya Trust and others in Kenya and elsewhere in Africa has been significantly low.
Since this pandemic, we have been having a very, very drop in support from the donors. And it has been affecting us because we were lucky we are not laid off.
Other rangers in many other conservancies have not been so lucky. A drop in funding has led to a decrease in the number of rangers and thus a rising in the risk of poachers once more. To resolve this issue, the Wildlife Rangers Challenge is seeking to raise $5 million in a bid to support conservancies just like the Mount Kenya Trust in Kenya and across Africa.
We started the World Rangers Challenge, where it entails about running for 21 kilometers, carrying your backpack, which is about 24 kgs. And this is to sensitize the whole world that we as rangers, we require your support.
The meeting that is currently ongoing is a come together for our Mount Kenya Trust Rangers. As you know, today is the 31st of July, is a World Ranger Day, and we are celebrating our rangers for the good work they have been done for the last 1 year. And it's also the same time we are also remembering those who are fallen heroes, the fallen rangers. So the rangers that died in the line of duty the last 1 year. For the world, we've identified that we have 120 rangers that died in line of duty. 6 of them are Kenyan rangers. The life of a ranger is kind of difficult, and if you can support a ranger in any way, please, you are always welcome to.
Anita Nkonge, NTV.